Greetings to viewers old and new. This is Victoria Skydancer coming to you once again direct from the coffee table with the intuitive reading of the month for October 2023. How did we get here so quickly? I don't know. Anyways, as usual, this reading is going to be brought to us by Sonia Choquette. Ask Your Guides Oracle cards. It's her deck. She gets the credit. All right. Let's dive right into what is going to be happening. And our keynote card for this month is going to be Imagination and the Inner Child. This card is inviting us to do a little thinking outside the box, especially since things might be seeming a bit oppressive as of late. And when that happens, we get into worst case scenarios and catastrophizing. What if this happens? What if that happens? What are we going to do? Panic, panic, panic. This is inviting us to flip the script a little bit, to tune into our inner children. Inner child, inner children, yes, that thing. And we ask ourselves instead, what about the best case scenarios? What if this happens? Or what if that happens? Or, what if that shiny thing actually appears? So take a minute to think outside the box, as I said. Color outside those lines. Allow yourself to find a little inspiration this month where you might not have looked normally. All right, quick review. We go this way. This is for the material. We go this way. This is for the astral, world of form, and world of thought. World of form. Let's see what we have. We have discipline. Perhaps some of the things we started earlier in the year, the wheels might be a little wobbly or they might have fallen off altogether. This card I see is inviting us to do a little reevaluation, maybe reinforce that container, restructure that action plan, and then proceed ahead. Because with a solid structure, combined with a spark of inspiration, we are going to find ourselves having a really nice final harvest for this harvest season. And it's going to be a holistic harvest. It's not just going to be strictly material or strictly emotional. Everything. It's going to be all of it. We're going to have success. We have success if we have a little bit of discipline and use a little bit of imagination. So this is a good sign, yes. All right, now let's see what's down here. This card's encouraging us to reach out to our connections in case we feel like we need a little extra support. And if you feel like you don't have those connections for support, don't be afraid to reach out and try to make some of those connections for yourself. Because we're all going to get through this together. We are a social species, like it or not. We are a social species, and we get through things with a little help from our friends, believe it or not. So do not be afraid to reach out and ask for some support if you need it. Do not be afraid to reach out and offer support if you see it's needed. So with our connections and with a pinch of imagination, we can find ourselves feeding our life force energies and sparking that flame that's going to keep us warm through the cold winter months, at least in the global north. If you're in the global south, this will keep your flame nice and steady, especially as things get especially as things heat up. Easy for me to say, right? This will allow you to keep a steady flame so that you don't flare up and then burn out right away. Because as we all know, the summer is the time to do, and sometimes it's better to just take a moment, pause, feel into that flame, and keep yourself going that way. All right. So what I'm going to do is make everything nicey nice. Pull back for your screenshot. And normally I would be done here, but in this case, I have a sixth card that actually came up in the reading this month. I was going to disregard it, but then I took a look at it and said, oh, no, 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 this actually belongs here significantly. So I'm going to put it in the center. I'm going to zoom into it because this is a significant card. And I'll tell you why. Because this is the big energy that's percolating up from the depths. And this is what's undergirding this particular reading. This is what's undergirding all of my readings. This is what's behind a whole lot of the changes going on. Because 2024 and 2025 coming up in the Asian calendar is the year of the dragon and the year of the snake. Dragons and snakes are primal symbols of goddess energy. And we've got some goddess energy going on. Here's a through line from an earlier reading. We remember this connection. And here's the source of this connection. You've got this big energy bubbling up. And it's going to be pushing back against some of the more chaotic energies that have been running around as of late. So the next 2 years, yeah, they're going to be an interesting ride. And I will go into this more in depth with the Wetware blog. And there will be an update for it in the next day or two. So just move some of these cards out of the way. And I'm going to give you a special screenshot just for these two, because this is the significant theme for October and for probably the near term is what I'm feeling. So that is our reading for this month. I will probably be back next week. That's my intention. I intend to come back next week because next Friday is Friday the 13th, which means it is Freya Power Day. And the guides are nudging me to do another reading at that moment. So I'm going to pay attention to my guides. I will probably be back next Friday. I'm also going to be updating the Wetware blog, as I mentioned earlier. So take a look at this reading. And in the meantime, enjoy the rest of your harvest season. And I'll see you soon.